Parisi. I am Candice Parisi, and this is a question and answer format. I'm here every Wednesday, YouTube Live at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, doing psychic readings and mediumship. I am a spiritual teacher. I'm an intuitive counselor. I'm hoping everybody's having a really wonderful Wednesday. Hello. Let's see here. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna push a couple buttons here that I can't see. Hi, Janice. How are you? Hi, Pamela. Hi, Christina. Hi, Jody. How are you? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Vale. How are you? Good. Welcome. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Diane. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. Hi, Maya. You're a coat collector. Hi, coat collector. Hi, Brenda. Hello. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Scene Babes. Hi, June. Hi, Judy. Hi, Patricia. Well, welcome. Hi, Lynn. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm hoping you're having a really good week. If this is your first time here, my name is Candice Parisi. I'm a psychic, and I am a medium. Hi, Rochelle. And this is a great place to get your questions answered. So if there's anything going on in your life, please feel free to ask. I am going to be answering everybody's question, every 25th person. Happy birthday, Maya. Every 25th person, starting in the middle. And then at the end, I'm going to pull a card for everybody here. So stick around for that. Hi, Sonia. And I'm going to be using the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. And so this is a great deck of Oracle cards. She has a bunch of different ones that are really wonderful. And so I'm going to be using that deck. There's up to 40 centimeters of snow starting right now in Ontario. Yeah, that's a lot of snow. We're getting some snow in Chicago, but not 40 centimeters. Hi, Lori. Thank you for sharing and moderating. Hello, May. Hello, Tina. Hello, Heather. Good. While you're showing up, if you, there's an arrow somewhere on here. If you could share this out, that'd be great. Hi, Karen. Hi, MK. And if you haven't already subscribed, that would be really wonderful if you did. My dad gave me, he watches my YouTube lives. Hi, Dad. And he gave me some constructive criticism. He asked me if I wanted some constructive criticism about my YouTube lives, and I said no. And then he gave them to me anyway. Hi, Sherry. And so one of the constructive criticisms was that I should. He says that it's up too high. My camera's up too high. So he says you should bring it down to about right here, he said, because it just looks like, hi, Rosemary, hi, Jeannie, like she says, I'm looking at the top of your forehead, and I don't want to. You should bring it down. So I'm going to do that. Thanks, Dad. And he says I look down too much, which your comments are down, so that's why I'm looking down. I'm not looking down because for any other reason. And what's the other thing? Oh, my mom. My mom says what did she say? She says I should really just get started right at the beginning and just start talking and doing readings, and instead of, I don't know I can't remember it now, but I will do the one thing, and this is it. So here you go, Dad. I moved it down so you can, you're not looking at the top of my head. And I don't know what that. Hi, Cheryl. Hello. Yes, good. And so please feel free to ask any question that you'd like. I am going to pick as many people as possible, and then please just let me know if there's any loved ones that you want to connect to. I would love to connect to your loved ones as well while you're showing up, and while you thank you, Cheryl, and while you're usually, he says that I look like this, so he said back away from it and bring it down. So I'm doing it, but just leave me alone, Dad. Okay, I'm almost 50 years old. Just give me a break. This is gonna be our mug tonight, and so thank you. And so, yes. Good. Hi, Tina. Yes, good. And so, while you're showing up, while you're sharing, I will also, while you're subscribing, while you're getting a cup of coffee, I will also share. Hi, Anne. Yes. Hi, Tiffany. Good. Hello. I will also share. I really like some crystals. I have lots of different kinds of crystals, and hit the heart button if you like crystals. I really very like stick to like 3 different ones that I really love. And this is one of them. And it is selenite. It comes in different flavors. It's like this one here, and there's big old blocks of it. But selenite is really great if you're trying to develop your mediumship and your spiritual ability, your intuitive ability. These guys, can you see me? Maybe I should do all the readings like through here. And so these fellas, you can get tiny ones too that you can put in your pocket. But sometimes people, when they're developing their intuition, they'll put their piece of selenite under their bed, or under their mattress, under the bed. And it's just a really great energy to calm down your brain. I think our brains are wild. Hit the heart button if your brain is like 1,000 miles a minute. Yeah, and so, yeah, I think that, I think that, 1,000 miles a minute. And so this is great to quiet down your brain, this guy. Also, on this YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel, there's lots of meditations, and meditations that you can use while you're sleeping, and all sorts of stuff to calm down your brain as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you feel like your brain needs a little calming, thank you, Beverly. I appreciate you sharing, and thank you everybody who's sharing. I appreciate you. I see you. Hi, Renee. Hi, Meredith. I think we could use a little brain calming in our life, for sure. Renee says she needs lots of calming, so good. And so, good. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out. And I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to get started. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Hi, Julie. Hi, Renee. This is my 5th YouTube Live. So I'm getting into it. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring out all the buttons. I'm figuring out all the stuff. And so thank you for coming along with me on the ride. And so, so let's get started. I'm going to start right in the middle. And please feel free to ask anything you'd like at all. MK says she's holding selenite right now. Perfect. Great. I love selenite. And, okay, let's see here. Oh, good. Okay, let me find the middle. Okay, so right in the middle is Pamela Parisi. Hi, Pamela Parisi. Pamela Parisi says, I experienced another traumatic experience Sunday. Any guidance from my spirit guide or angels? Okay, let's hit the heart button and let's send Pamela Parini. Lots of love and hearts. She says that she experienced another traumatic experience on Sunday. Any guidance from my spirit guided angels? Okay, I'm going to pull a card for you. Thank you so much for asking your question. Okay. Lots and lots of love for you. Okay. Alrighty. So, making choices. So, your guidance keeps saying a couple of different things. And so, first of all, your guidance is very poetic. But your guidance keeps saying something that is very specific over and over again. And it's around the word darkness. And so darkness happens sometimes so you can see the stars. Darkness happens sometimes so you can see the stars. And Pamela, you've had depression for a long time. And you've had, exactly, like when I'm looking at the experience that you're talking about, one traumatic experience after another. Like it's been a lot of them, right? And I think that you feel like inside of your life that you've lost everything, that you're losing everything. But your guidance says that that trees lose their leaves each year, but they still stand very tall. And even though that you've had this one thing after another and feeling like you're losing everything, that you stand tall regardless, like a tree. Your guidance really sees you as this very strong, very loved, very connected person that is going through a life that has a lot of hardship around it. And so you have a lot of guidance in your life, including a child of yours. And so feels very, very much like when it comes to losing, you know a lot about losing and feeling lost. And it feels like that each year it's like that feeling of all the leaves falling from the tree and you losing like that. But your guidance wants you to know that you're still standing tall and you gain again, and that you're going to be okay, and that most of the darkness or most of the hard stuff has already happened. And so now we're moving into a place where, yes, there is, right now you have experienced hardship here, and I think there's been financial hardship, there's been a lot of stuff. But your guidance and your child and your loved ones that have passed want you to know that you're going to continue to stand tall inside of it and feel better. And so there's less and less of these hardship moments for you. Yes, good. Well, I'm sending you lots of love, and lots of people are sending you hearts and love. Yes. Okay, thank you for asking your question. Okay, I'm going to get to the next person. Thank you, everybody, for sending her love. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Let's see here. It's okay. All right. Okay, 25 is MK. Hi, MK. MK, you're the 25th person. MK says, Will my son do well in rehab in Utah? Okay, great question. Let's send lots of love to MK and her son. She says, will my son do well in rehabilitation in Utah? Okay, perfect. Let me pull a card for you. Thank you so much for being here and asking your question. Okay, let's see here. Okay. All right, peaks of joy. So, MK, this is a great card that would, in a question like a yes or no question, like, will my son be, well in rehabilitation? Yes, right? And healing when we're going through something, in our life, is difficult. Hit the heart button if you've been healing from something, from an addiction, from physical ailments, from anything. Healing also means screaming and crying and kicking. Healing is definitely wanting to be alone, feeling like you want to give up. All of these different things your son has gone through in multiple times as well. Like, it feels very much like they have managed through these big, hard feelings over and over again. And there's this time around, there's a lot more of that sort of crying and feeling low and feeling that direction. And I think that for him, he shows up as he's in the right place. He shows up as being very well taken care of. He has good people around him. Does show up as coming out of rehabilitation feeling like that he is victorious. He does show up as doing some continuous rehabilitation in the future. And when I'm looking at him, he has a lot of opportunity to succeed. Feels like we have been around this block a couple of times. And so I think that for him, he knows how this goes moving forward. And I think that for him, they're also paying attention to not only what's going on with him, but also his mental health, because there's a lot of things going on in that category as well. And so feels very, very much like he's getting all of the things that he needs in a new way that feels like it's the right way for him, and it shows up as helping him feel successful in his recovery, and so in his rehabilitation. And so yes, he does show up as doing well in rehabilitation, and so that's good. It feels like you've picked the right place for him. Yes, good. Good, and you're doing a great job as a mom. You're super supportive and loving, and I think that oftentimes as a mom we blame ourselves and we guilt and shame and all the things, and this has been a wild ride, but you don't need to do any of that stuff. You're doing all this stuff right. Yes, being a mom is a lot of work. Hit the heart button if you're a mom. And so I think that this is the exact right place for your son. Good. God, well, thank you so much for asking your question. Okay, I'm going to get to the next person. Got a lot of stray hairs going on today. I don't even know what's going on. Am I growing new hairs? Are these all new gray hairs? Are we? Oh, okay. Anyway, no problem, MK. Okay, good. Let me get to the next person. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. Happy Wednesday. And if you want to get a private reading with me, you'd go to travelingintuitive.com to book a session. I have a link in the bio, the description of this live. And thank you. Good. Hello. Okay. Okay, 25. 25 is Jean Sweeney. Hi, Jean Sweeney. Jean Sweeney says, there's a woman in here who's in great pain. Okay, a woman where you live. Okay. A woman where you live in great pain. Any insight? She doesn't want to go to the ER. Okay. And so let's send Jean, the woman that lives around Jean, lots of love. There's a woman who lives near her that is in great pain and she doesn't want to go to the ER. Any insights? Okay, I'm going to pull a card for you. Thank you so much for asking your question. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so wide open. So when it comes to your question, Jean, the person that the thing that you want the woman to do is the right thing for her. The desire for her is to not do it because she shows up as feeling afraid of having anxiety about going to the hospital, going to doctors, going to any of that in general. In her mind, she feels if I go there, I'm never coming back. She has a lot of anxiety around the idea of going and getting help. And so you are a safe person. And you're somebody who is trusted to receive other people's vulnerabilities. You're somebody who has a lot of wisdom for other people. You understand what she needs. She doesn't want to have her control taken away. And she's older and she struggles and she has fears, and you see all those things, and the natural thing to want to do is to swoop in and save the day, especially because it's you and you are somebody who your whole life has saved everybody's day. And so I would say in her situation, yes, she is in all of that scenario. And yes, she does show up as going to the ER. But it feels like that she's gotta make that call. She's gotta make that decision. And I think it's gotta get to a place where she feels safe to do that. And she just doesn't want to surrender to it yet. And I think that oftentimes, especially when people are having a harder and harder time and they're getting older and older, the one thing that they do want to hold on to is that feeling of control. They want to have they want to have something that they're still in control of. And she, even though she's in pain, she gets to be in control of what she does next, when it comes to like going to the hospital. And she shows up as doing it. And then you show up as being a support for her. But it takes her a little bit longer. And so I would just be love, all the things that you are. Just love on her and be there for her and until she's ready for all of that. But she has great fears around that. Hit the heart button if you have fears around going to the hospital, and especially as you get older. I think that oftentimes people feel a lot of fear around that, and so that's what she's feeling. But you're doing everything right for her. Yes, good. Good. Well, thank you so much for asking your question. Yes. Oh, and thank you so much, Linda, for sending me a gift. I appreciate you. Ah, that was really nice. Good. Okay, let me get to the next person. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Oh, you're welcome, Jeannie. Yes. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to get to the next person. I'm picking every 25th person starting in the middle. And then at the end, I'm going to pull a card for everybody here. So stick around for that. Okay. Hello. Okay. Okay, 25 is Heather Holloway. Hi, Heather Holloway. Heather Holloway, the 25th person. She says, hi, Candice. I'm so emotional and lonely, and I need your guidance, please. Okay, let's send lots of love to Heather Holloway. She says, I'm so emotional and lonely, and I need your guidance. Okay, let me pull a card for you. Thank you so much for asking your question. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Wishing well. So first, let's talk about lonely, right? As soon as I connect to you, you have a couple of people who have passed away, and so you have a woman who is a older woman. She is showing me she's older because she has old lady hands. You know what I'm talking about? Like bruised hands, like thin skinned hands. She is she says she's a great grandmother figure, and she's holding a baby. And she says that this is your baby. And so this great grandmother figure and this baby show up as being by your side constantly, just being in your life all the time, and being this sweet support system of yours, and this beautiful child, this beautiful great grandmother. I think that inside of that great grandmother's side of the family, she had lots of depression and hard stuff that happened. And when it comes to like genetics, like internally, and so for her, she sees a lot of herself in you. I think that right now everything feels lonely. It feels like, as a human being, you feel like you're not being seen by relationships. You feel like that things are way harder than they need to be when it comes to feeling like you have security. Everything feels like it's upside down, and she wants you to know that that's super temporary. And she remembers when she was a person having these moments where it just is like this overwhelming amount of feelings. And she says that right now that you're having them. And I think that she says it never looks, what do you say? It never looks good on a person when they're trying to make someone feel bad. And she says she sees this particular situation or person that has tried to make you feel bad. And she says it's not a good look for them. And that she's very much a super protector of you. And she says that you are a nurturer and that you have a ton on your plate, but you're going to be just fine. And that she's going to protect you for the rest of your life. So yes, you're feeling emotional and lonely right now, but and you're going to come up to emotions throughout your life, right? Because that's what we do. But when I'm looking at you, the hard part, the hardship part of it shows up as being less and less. Yes. God, I'm sending you love. Let me know if you need anything. Thank you, everybody, for sending her lots of love. Okay, good. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to get to the next person. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And thank you so much for being here. And if you want to get a private reading with me, you go to travelingintuitive.com to book a session. The link is in the description as well. And I have 30-minute and 1-hour openings this month open, a handful of them. And so if you'd like to get a session, this is a great time to do it. And isn't this week Valentine's? Ah, thank you, Beverly, for the gift. I appreciate you. Isn't this week Valentine's? When is it? Like Friday? Happy Valentine's Day. I hope that you have, I hope you have a Valentine. And if not, I hope you are your own Valentine. And, uh, yes. Oh, good. Let's see. There's nothing wrong with eating candy that you got yourself. Thank you, Nancy, for the gift. And giving yourself flowers for Valentine's Day. Yes. Good. Linda Henderson, yes. Okay, 25 is Lynn Pellerin. Hi, Lynn Pellerin. Lynn Pellerin, you're the 25th person. She says, I like my apartment. Will I keep it? I am so afraid I need some protection. Okay, I'm going to pull a card for you. Thank you so much for asking your question. Okay, so she says, I like my apartment. Will I keep it? I'm so afraid. Okay, gotcha. So let me see here. All right, so commitment. You keep your apartment. You have a lot of financial anxiety, and I think that things are slower in the financial department right now, but you do not lose your stuff. You don't lose your apartment, you don't lose your stuff, you don't lose anything. And so even though you're feeling like this, even though it feels overwhelming, even though you have anxiety around finances, even though the job stuff is on hold, you don't show up as losing the stuff. And so this financial anxiety that you have has run through your life, throughout your life, even when you're financially fine. And so we want to get to a place here into this, into April, you start to feel like, okay, I'm back, I'm okay. I see finances coming in. All of those things are occurring. I think that for you, you want to make sure that you you work on letting go of some of that financial fear. Because when I'm looking at you throughout the rest of your life, you don't have financial insecurity. When I'm looking at how much anxiety you have about financial insecurity, it's extraordinary. And so right now it makes some sense because we're in between working and that whole part. But even then, you don't lose your stuff. And so, yes. Okay, good. Good. Well, thank you so much for asking your question. Okay, let me get to the next person. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. Sherry, I love talking to you today. Okay. Oh, hello. Okay, 25 is Meredith Angelo. Hi, Meredith Angelo. Meredith Angelo says, I'm worried about my son. When will he move on from his breakup? Great question. Hit the heart button if you're having a hard time moving on from your breakup. That you've broken up with somebody or if they've broken up with you and it's just, you just feel like you're hanging in there. Like it's hard to say goodbye to it. It's hard to feel relief from it. And so let me see here for your son. Okay. Okay, sad embrace. And so this is a card of depression. When it comes to your son, he has a really hard time moving on. He shows up as, was, very, very much in love with the person. It feels like it's going to take him some time to get there. I think that he doesn't necessarily harbor hope. Maybe a little bit, but not real life hope when it comes to getting back with the person or that whole part. It just feels like that in his heart, he was under the impression that this was forever and ever and something that he was going to be able to have and to feel really connected to long term. And he's having a really, really hard time with endings. I think that for him, and for a lot of people have hard times with endings. It's the same kind of feeling as dying and death when it comes to people. People have a hard time with people dying in their lives, and endings are very, very similar to that. And there's a grieving process for your son. And his grieving process in this situation is taking a while, and it feels like, all right, come on, kid, let's move forward. But, I think that over these next few months, he has more and more of a feeling like he's free from it. But it's a difficult one for him because he shows up as he really invested a lot of his heart into this person, and it feels like for him, he feels like it's impossible to do it again. And so, but he gets there and he comes to a place where he can really love and be loved again. And it happens this year. And so I think that there's lots of transformation this year. I think he's just, in a grieving process, in the same kind of process as somebody who has lost somebody from passing away, Yes. Good. Well, I'm sending you love. I'm sending your son love. And thank you for asking your question. Okay, I'm going to get to the next person. I'm going to get to 2 more people in the comments, and then I'm going to pull a card for everybody here. So stick around for that. And thank you so much for being here. Yes. Oh, goodness. Good. Okay. Okay. Okay, 25. 25 is Sonia. Hi, Sonia. Sonia, you're the 25th person. She says, hello there. Will I have my own home and share it with someone special? Okay, perfect. I'm going to pull a card for you. Thank you so much for asking your question. Hello there. Will I have my own home and share it with someone special? Okay, great question. Let's see here. Okay, and so Moonlight. All right, and so in the context of this card and your question and your guidance, coming through, is yes. I mean, you do show up as owning your own home. I think that it looks a little different than how you perceive it, how it's going to go. When I'm looking at it, you see it as you're going to go buy a home and then someday be with somebody. When I'm looking at you, instead what it is you decide to choose somebody, and then that person has a home, and then you choose to have a home together that's that other person's home that they already have. And so I think it's in a different order than how you see it, but you do show up as developing, in bringing in a relationship that decides to have a home, or they have a home of their own, and then you decide to become a part of what they have. And so Yes, you do show up as having both things and in a different order. But you show up as really happy in a loving relationship and feeling like that you have stuff that you really love and you feel connected to. And so definitely this year is a big change year for you when it comes to the things that you're wanting in those categories. Yes. But good. God, well, thank you so much for asking your question. Okay, I'm going to get to the next person. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And if you want to get a reading with me privately, you can go to travelingintuitive.com to book a session. I'd love to have a reading with you. And let me see here. You're welcome, Sonia. Rosemary, yes. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay. Hello. Okay. Okay, 25 is Kitty Mazzara. Hi, Kitty Mazzara. Kitty Mazzara says, could I get a card, please? Yes, of course. God, thank you so much for asking your question. Kitty Mazzara. All right, let's see here. Okay. Okay. Encouragement. Cute little giraffes. My 2-year-old daughter, she calls them zebras. She just can't. She can't. She can't figure it out. And it's, it's like the one thing. And so, so these giraffes here. Could I get a card, please? Yes. And so, encouragement. And so, this year you have 2 different areas. I feel like that they change in in a way that feels like, one particularly in a really positive direction, and that is toward financial security. And so I think we're getting to the place in our life where we are trying to set ourselves up for success long term and get to a good place in that category. Things that you've worked really hard on and that you have put a lot of energy into. This year you show up as feeling like there's a strong win there, a strong foundation, like you've built the whole house, kind of feeling. And I think that in that, it creates this security and safety for you to feel like that you can do a lot more long term than you thought, and you feel a lot more freedom. And so I think that in, a lot of, you have a lot of passions and a lot of things that mean a lot to you, and you've had to compromise them for different financial reasons. And it does feel very much like this year you're able to feel like, okay, I'm good, and I have different prospects of what I can do moving forward when it comes to the things that I do feel passionate about that I don't have the ability to do now. And so feels very much like that's the big positive change. You also have a lot of shifting around when it comes to friendships and things that feel like that they aren't necessarily, I think you're changing, and so you're changing whom you want around you and whom you want close to your life. And so you change those things as well. But this is a year where you choose yourself and you really feel like that you are going after and figuring out and finishing the things that need to happen so that you have security and safety financially, and you feeling like that you're exchanging and changing out some human beings in your life because you're changing. And sometimes we hold on to people who are people who are are supposed to be in a life that we had before, like 10 years back when we were a different person, and now we're this person, and we grow out of people. And so I think that you make some changes there and add some new in. And so this feels like a really good, like abundant year around you feeling, security and financial security, but also like human being security. Yes. Well, good. Well, thank you so much for asking your question. And thank you, everybody, for asking your questions. And I'm here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time doing psychic readings and mediumship. And here on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed, please do that. And I think there's a notification bell. There's all sorts of that. And thank you so much for everybody who sent me gifts. I appreciate you. And I hope that you have the opportunity to come back on Wednesday if I haven't answered your questions. I've been doing Facebook Lives for a very long time. And this is about my 5th time here on YouTube Live. And so Facebook Live, there's like, I've been doing that for a long time, and so there's an influx of a lot of people. I'm really liking that we're not, we're at a different pace. I can get to more people, and so if I haven't got a chance to get to you here at the beginning stages of YouTube Live, while we're still a small group, we're the beginning crowd, I hope to be able to get to all your questions. And thank you so much for being here and supporting me. And if you want to get a reading with me privately, you go to travelingintuitive.com to book a session. I'd love to have a reading with you. I'm going to pull a card for everybody who's here now, the 54 people who are here now, and anybody who's here in the future. This card is for you. And thank you again so much for spending your Wednesday with me. And happy Valentine's Day on Friday. I hope you get yourself some flowers and somebody gets you some flowers. They should be getting you some flowers, on other days as well. So, but I hope you do it. I hope you get them on Valentine's Day. I don't think I even want flowers. You know what I want? What would I want on a Valentine's Day? I think I would want like a fire outside while it's snowing with a really nice cup of coffee. And that's it. That's my flowers. That's what I would want. And just to sit there for 2 hours and just smell a fire and drink coffee. And the coffee just continuously is filled to the top and hot. That's what I want. So I hope that you should probably figure out exactly what you want and then expect it for Valentine's Day. All right, this card is for you. Thank you again so much for being here. Okay. Rock bottom. All right. This is an intense card. Hit the heart button if you don't know what to pursue in your life right now. If you don't know what to pursue in your life right now. So, if you don't know what to pursue in your life right now, pursue yourself. In times where you don't know what to pursue in your life, pursue yourself. Pursue your happiness, pursue your health, pursue your own joy, pursue feeling the most healed, the most personally cared for. Pursue yourself. Pursue the most present things that you need for your life when you don't know what to pursue outside of yourself, right? And inside of doing that, the right path reveals itself. Sometimes we need to really like take a look at ourselves. When things are standing very still, oftentimes they're standing very still because the version of us that we are being is not where we're going in life. And so we're like, I really want these things to happen in my life. But whom we're being, we're not really pursuing ourselves. We're not paying attention to ourselves. We're hoping that this, and this changes outside of ourselves, and hoping when it does, it makes us happy. But we hardly ever look at ourselves and pursue ourselves and see what actually makes us happy. Sometimes we're in relationships and jobs and scenarios in our life that we've been in, and we don't even know what we actually want anymore because it's something that makes us unhappy, or it doesn't work, or it feels like it's yesterday's, or it's expired. And sometimes you have a chance to pursue yourself and pursue your happiness, pursue your most present loving life. And inside of doing that, the things that you need to pursue next reveal themselves, and it's so much easier to attain them and accept them. I think that oftentimes people want like a much more loving relationship or a better job or all of these things, but in the looking at their life, they've never had it, they've never allowed it before, and they've never accepted it for themselves. And so when you pursue yourself, you are opening yourself up to accepting things that are positive, are better, are things that you actually want, a better relationship, a better job, a better this, a better, emotional state, better all the stuff. And so if you feel like you're standing still and you don't know what to pursue in life, this week your homework is to pursue you. Like, really, happy Valentine's Day. Like, get pursuing you. And so that you can feel loved and joy, and that you can feel and have the things that you want because you chose you first, not chose every thing outside of you first, hoping that it was going to make you happy over and over again, right? Okay, and ignoring the guy that walks around with you 24/7, you. And so this week is I am not going to ignore myself time. Yes. Good. Good. Well, thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. And I can't wait to see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And thank you so much for Lori for moderating. And thank you everybody for sharing this live out. If you could share this live into your social media and different places, and so that people can come and hang out in our community, that'd be great. And I'm just grateful that you're here, and you are everything you are looking for. Happy Valentine's Day, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Okay. All right. Bye.